Welcome to stage 20 of the 2016 Tour de France. 175 riders started the second last stage of the 103rd edition of the Tour de France in Megève. A minute of silence was observed as a tribute to the victims of the shooting in Munich, Germany the day before. Sylvain Chavanel of Direct Energy was the first attack of the day right after the flag off at kilometer 0. A lead group was formed in several waves in the ascent of the Col d'Aravis. After 20 kilometers of racing, finally a group of 30 had stabilized in front. That included Ion Izagirre of Movistar, Vincenzo Nibali of Astana, Peter Sagan and Roman Kreuziger of Tinkoff, Jolison Pontano of IM Cycling, Thomas de Gent of Lotto Soudal and Julian Alaphilippe of Ethics Quickstep. It must be noted that stage 20 includes a really technical twisty descent, and as we know already that Izagirre, Vincenzo Nibali, Pantano and Sagan are all expert at descending. However, of those four, Peter Sagan is unlikely to be able to make it to the top of the horse category climb together with the leaders. Anyway, De Gent rode away solo to crest the Aravis first, and he also sprinted into first place atop the Col de Colombier, that way securing his second place in the King of the Mountains competition against Pantano, whereas the polka dot jersey had already been mathematically secured by Rafael Majka of Tinkoff the day before, so he did not concern himself with any of the action up front and stayed in the peloton. Warren Barguil reached the front group atop the Colombier, and Daniel Teclaminot of Dimension Data completed making it across in the downhill, while 8 riders rode away in the valley halfway into the race, which was Izagirre, Sagan, Kreuziger, Rui Costa, Pantano, Alaphilippe and Gougard. Sagan's effort brought the break's lead to a maximum of 6 minutes 24 over the peloton at 67 kilometers. With 62 kilometers to go, Sagan had finished his work, while Kreuziger to effectively put Kreuziger in the virtual podium spot of third place. But Astana and AG2 Arla Mondial didn't like the situation at all and took over from Team Sky at the head of the peloton. De Gent rode away again on the ascent to the Col de Ramaz, where he was first again. In the downhill, Pantano and Alaphilippe overtook him to form a leading duo with 40 kilometers to go. They attacked each other within 5 kilometers of the top of the Jouplan, but in their skirmishes it allowed Vincenzo Nibali to come across when he heard that he would not be any more use on Fabio Aru's side, as the Sardinian was struggling to hold pace behind the yellow jersey group. With 15 kilometers to go, Nibali went away solo. 2 kilometers before the summit, however, Izagirre and Pantano managed to rejoin Nibali up in the lead. And Pantano, the Colombian, was designated most aggressive rider for the day yet again. This Izagirre, the Spaniard, managed to get himself a tiny gap on the downhill. He got himself a tiny gap. Pantano was behind him and Nibali in third. On a particularly tricky left-hand bend, Pantano ran slightly wide, which caused Nibali to grab a handful of brakes, and in those split seconds it allowed Izagirre to extend his gap out front even further, and that was the end of the story. The day after, Romain Bardet gave the France its first stage win of the Tour de France for this year. Izagirre did the same for Spain as well, making it the 10th different nation with a stage victory in this year's race. Only 5 times in the past, have there been more than 10 different nations, and that was in 1993, 1995 and 2006 with 11 different nations, 2002 with 12, and 2013 with 13 different nations. It was also Movistar's first stage win of the CS Tour, and it validates the team's classification second straight victory for the squad from Navarra. In other words, they effectively are winning the team classification this year. As no GC contender took the risk of losing position in the torrential rainstorm coming down the final climb, Chris Froome was quietly escorted by Team Sky to the finish, while Joaquim Rodriguez made a short burst out from the peloton to be able to move up into the top 10 in his last Tour de France. So, in summary, Ion Izagirre claimed his first Tour de France stage victory as he arrived solo in Morzine after riding away from Vincenzo Nibali and Jolison Pantano in the downhill of the Col de Jouplan. Romain Bardet and Nairo Quintana took no risk to secure their spot on the podium, along with Chris Froome on the eve of the Parisian parade. That brings me to the end of my report on stage 20 of the 2016 Tour de France. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, post any comments, questions, criticisms that you may have in the comment section down below. And last but by no means least, remember, stay carved up for the win. I'll see you next time. Cheers. CoachEver.net